One Man, One God, Trinity, 2026. Danny Torres, all rights reserved, trademark, service mark, copyright, publishing, intellectual property, masters, all rights reserved, Danny Torres. So I be hearing it a lot of times. So like, talk to me about how those frequencies, when you look back at it and you could see formal classmates and their frequencies where they came before they said, their parents said, let me go out for better. Where did I see it at? So I'll let you know. I mean, I don't remember everybody, I'll mention like a first name, but that's about it. Although just let me just go freshly through it right now. Whatever comes in remembrance. So what are we saying about so the frequencies? Oh yeah, did I see any residues? Yeah, I saw the residues. I was able to pinpoint them right away. I saw some scantrum. I saw, and it just came with the territory. Like, this is something that is an experience that was the residue comes from roots, from colonizations. It comes from a lot of certain situations that involve things in that nature, and then I could see like who's more in, who's like way out, and I could see a lot of different things will come, and and you could like the significance of the nurturing and the awareness of knowing that you out there putting this importance out, so people could be more whole, more holy, more 100% with themselves, because our identity is all stripped and taken places left and right. That was intentionally. So there's frequencies that kept apart, and there's some that they just stood together. And the ones that stood that are more intact are the ones that the high frequencies are the ones that actually drive all cultures and all the roots of the people that said, let me make these moves, let me make these things for better. These are all the traits that come from that. So we enrich. This is why it's an enhancement that we have people that connect with others, and then they come in and they bust their move, whatever they got to show, and then you know what, they got their signature in there. We give that energy and that secureness that you start practicing now on that type of wellness and that type of care, and that awareness brings you more every day to it, opposed from being apart and losing a lot of yourselves. Losing your roots, losing where you where these frequencies really hold. That you can see that when we ready, when things are meant, we just gonna blow. That's what it is. You want better, you need to not have one foot in and one foot out. Like, this is just full throttles. We're not playing with it. This is not something that you do. The more you do it, the more back you're gonna the more we moving forward. So we're not settled. This is not something that we this is not a joke. It's not a game. It's not a job. This is everything that your future and your livelihood depends on. So when that much more is in the music, that much more, even if you take it and you have a different means and different feel and image to it, it's not going to take away from the realism of what things really are. So I'm out here and I can see like like a lot of this. And for example, I even one time when I could see it when I was talking to a few of individuals, in the classroom. You're talking about like what, like eighth grade. 'Cause last year, I'm gonna talk like the graduation. That's when if I got to see some of how their family was, like if we were doing like school projects and we visit the house to study and to work on our projects, you saw a little bit of it, but not so much. Only the not so much, but you get some in from what the household and everything is, and no, you start seeing that my high percentage is what when parents come out for better is what they look for, so their child can move forward and be able to put that 100 at foot in, because you come out and you decide to live in certain places in the United States. You don't know really like where it's gonna go, but the frequency also, that's what I'm trying to say, the frequencies does hold each other and brings each other closer every time. That's why I know that the farther people trying to play me off that's not key. So whoever puts that in perspective is because they know that it comes back together. It's like when you try to break something and keep it separate so it won't form back, it's inevitable, because God is there. God gives life. God makes that cycle for nobody to manipulate that cycle. God is gonna give life. This is gonna be birth for what the wellness and well-being of the people. The future is that much. So things of high frequencies is, people try to play it off because they know what it is. It's something that takes care of so much different things that broken systems, people that couldn't get it or way off. It's things that all these things balance everything out, and you become more advanced. Your civilization, you become more of a communicator, a more together with it. So more of a bond, You're able to then move with others and move with yourself. When you find yourself, like life's a challenge, you're gonna find yourself in well grounds, because this type of stuff hits 360. You're gonna be well rounded. And with that being said, yeah, my thing was like, yeah, I could see some that what I'm just gonna say, right? I was talking to this individual, and I'm feeling her out, right? Because you at that time you get to go to see each other, and then not everybody could come out. Nobody could really we ain't hanging out really after school or seeing each other, so they don't really know like what kind of like energy and what kind of thing is going on, like, and if they not out there, and I've been out there, not from when I'm graduating. I've been out there when I was born. I'm born into the nature of this, I could tell you that I was out there way ahead of my time. That I saw a lot of the things that were made to put it together, that's not lost, for parents that don't share like the roots. And then I'm in between everything else that made a form and made a formula. So we know, that's why I said we know how to raise them. for sure we know how to raise them. So communities that are the most advanced do come from these. This is what the origin of this is. This is where it comes from. So not a lot of at this time. Not everybody's putting it has 100 on it, and they still trying to get it. But there's a lot of times like they more like coming up. It's more like you're looked at like they don't really know how it is out there because they not out there. You see what I'm saying? Like they not out there, and they don't have 100 on them. I have 100 on them. I came in with 100. So I'm talking to one of the individuals like for a little bit. Well, this one individual is out there, and she tends to get into this thing where she comes to school and it's like trouble, throwing the eraser dust to dust out the teacher behind, like doing a lot of like unnecessary stuff. And when I started talking to her, I saw that she could, she could calm all that down. She could settle that down, and but I was just not into it. I'm not, mother comes in every other day because of something that she's, is being done. And they just put us together like in the, when they changed the seats, I ended up with her. So then this letter came in and we started talking. So I'm like, all right, so I'll talk to you a few times on the phone, and I see, I could be feeling you, but I need to know what's really, really good, so I could get more of a feeling on it. Let's see if we could just hang out outside doing something. And she never could make that possible. And I'm like, man, you put a lot of energy getting in trouble. You should be cool. So like, because I'm not gonna be in school like that. And she's like, oh, give me a kiss and hi, but like no, like. And then like, let's go to the bathroom and you get a kiss over here. And like, I'm like, no, I prefer not to, because I know that this is not it. So if you can't get out, you over here, you do a lot of things to get in trouble, and you can't see me outside. I thought that you'd be someone I'll be out there, and I used to see her, but she'll be with her mother and her parents sometimes. Like she wasn't out there like dolos like that. So, or with a cousin so she could walk with, that could like assist her, so she could like be with out there. Like she didn't bring nothing to the table, so I was like, I don't think I want to be in you know what I mean? Because what is this? We're gonna go to school now, and I'm gonna get in trouble with like, the same. I could get in trouble with myself or anything, but I'm calm, cool, collective. You do you, I do me. So I started the letters like started coming out like that, and she started getting angry. She was like, you don't want to, like, and then the girl, the next individual, she saw that and she heard, and then she looked at me and she's like, I can't believe you with her. Like I'm like, that me, like, what are you talking about? I'm telling her that I'm not here for that. I'm staying right here, because she overheard like, when I go to the bathroom you go type stuff, right? So I'm like no, that's why she's pissed off. And then she turned around and she's like, oh, you talking now on me? Like, you talking? I'm like, you're the one like, you hear she overhearing everything that you saying, because you like, because I have to tell you no like a few times, like, and you keep turning around. Like she was like in front of me, sitting in front of me, and the desk in front of me. So she asks me to go to sit in back of me for the class, and she did it on purpose. She was mad, and she put all this ink all over my back and my neck. She's like, I'm just giving you a massage. And I'm like, I don't know, it just felt like the most softest massage that I ever felt. But it's because that's the ink, all that ink that was all over my she just bombarded me all over, like my whole body and my back. So yeah, everybody laughing and stuff in the class, and and all. But I got her for that. I got her for that because she came in one time and I don't know. She was just like, I think that I wrote something. I wrote my birthday wrong on the paper, and she looked at it, and I'm like, what you doing? I'm like, why you erased it? I was like, no, I did a mistake on my birthday. And he was like, is that really your birthday? I don't know what I put, but I'm like, I looked at her and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get you right now. Watch. And then she was like, I was like, look, don't say nothing. Really, like, no, I didn't even say it. No, don't say nothing. I was like, no, you know what it is. I'm not like, I wasn't born here, and I knew like a lot of Dominicans. You had someone, a cousin or someone, a second cousin that came in the boat and has like two different birthdays. They have the birthday of the Dominican Republic one, and then they have the birthday of the American. Two different birthdays, right? So when I said that I came in a Yola, she was like, and then she was like, nah, for real? And I'm like, yeah. So you wasn't born here? I'm like, no. So you have two birthdays? Yeah, I know. I have a cousin. And I'm like, yes. I have a cousin that came in and he has super. That's me. Yes, I'm that cousin. I'm that person. Yes. And boy, did she believed it. We graduated and everything. I didn't see her like, I seen her a few times, but she kept saying happy birthday to me on the birthday that I told her that I never had. Everybody around her thought she was crazy. Like, I mean, it was, yeah, I had to get her back for that. That wasn't funny. So, yeah, she was like, oh, yeah, yep, that's me. She's like, don't worry, I'm not going to tell the teacher or nobody. Your secret is safe with me. I'm like, oh, thank you. You're the best. Yes. You go ahead and do that. Right. So after that, the girl, the girl that was like, she was like, the girl that was like, I can't believe, like when she overheard, I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Why you in all that conversation? So she starts laughing because I'm trying to, I let her know that I ain't like that. Like, shorty, like she got a hot hand, like her hand's hot. She always getting it. Like I'm not here. I was never here for that. Man, I'm a calm, cool, collective. If I need, you know what I mean. I don't need to get in trouble. And then whatever I you know what I mean. Whatever I do, but I ain't gonna be in a place where I'm telling her, I'm like, if anything, your mom, if I'm start getting in trouble with you, your mom, which I could talk to your mom and we will have a little more freedom. Well, your mom is never gonna accept anything. So the best thing is that I'm just gonna let this be. This ain't it right here. If anything, it's just not. And then and she got a little pissed off because I was dead ass. I was like, nah, we good. So then I started talking to we started crushing the other girl. I started crushing with her. Me and her were flirting and crushing with each other. And her parents, her parents are strict. They were all like that though, Catholic schoolgirl, but they still do what what needs to be done when it comes to social life and making memes of what's good and taking right what mom says. That's what I'm saying. Like the moms when they used to find out who I was, and then they like, damn, but he's really out there because he does. We smell that, but I had support from all the nurses. Like, yeah, but it's not that. Like, they'll look at the nurses like they're like, yeah, I know you got his back, type stuff. And we don't want him bad things. So we feel like everybody is having their backs, is because we trusting that this is good. It's not what we be told and what we need to be worried about. Let's try to live and look for all the wellness and things and keep moving forward like that, So that dynamic is like, all right, so then, and then not only that, then the bachata and everything, all the culture, we have it 100. So when they turn in 16, when they want to celebrate, when the culture want to come in, they want the culture. They don't want the image of the culture. We are the ones that making it happen. We move forward to make it better. So we need to move with those perspectives. So by that time when I went for my graduation, they didn't know what kind of like high frequency I was in, They thinking they probably one of the freshest out here, and they laughing at my gear, right? My gear was I had the Durango boots with the slacks over them and with with a button down, right? And of course, I'm looking fresh because I already know what's the move. I'm going to represent. I'm going to my graduation parties. There was like 3 or 4 parties, one in Baton Rouge, one in, Staten, another one over here in the Hill, another one over there. I knew I was gonna see the girl. I was gonna see her in one of the parties like at a certain time, but then at the end I never saw her, and then that's probably it. I didn't see her after that. There was not a communication. Her mom's, because her mom's. Even though I called her, she's like, how you got my number? Remember, we got the same group. I asked one of the group members, she's like, yeah, but, I'll talk to you for a little, but my mom's, it's not going to happen, I could act like you're my friend, my girlfriend. But, this is limited. Because she liked me, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to make whatever, however, whenever, anything, any little thing happened there, So it was worth it, So I'm walking down and I see her with the group of the other girls, and they're looking at my gear, but I didn't know what they were looking at. They laughing hard, like look at this, like. They like putting jokes on it, and then the girl that on the low, the other girls nobody knew that me and her were like flirting and talking like to each other like that. Not even her friends. Like her friends was like, I wasn't even like in their like vision of like who they will talk to and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There was some scantron. Yeah, there was residue there. Although like not because it came with the territory, you know what I'm saying? Like they younger and it was just unraveling. They coming in and then they putting more into they were starting to put more. It's like they catch on quick. Once you come out and you see what it is, and those that want to catch on, those that want to be like, I'm just gonna do my own. Then they keep it. Everybody just keeps doing what they do. But yeah, we out. We here. We always there. Decades like this, right? So before anything, I'm looking. Then when I realized that they were looking at my gear and like really like really putting shade on it, and then this girl comes in, right? We it's the other 8th grade, right? Because there's 2 8th grades. One of where my class was, where we graduate, and then the second 8th grade class, right? The other girl comes from that 8th grade class. I remember, like Elizabeth, something. I don't know, right? The thing is, the girl comes by. We never spoke or nothing ever for the years that I've been there. and she comes over, like she didn't even know that the girls were throwing all the shade at me from a side, like, but she was going to one of the parties, so she's crossing around too, and we intertwined with each other, and she comes out and she's like, the Durango boots, the all black. Oh, you found them? Yeah, I wasn't feeling those bucket the ring on the boots, and I'm like, if they had these like this, and I'm like, I started saying, yeah, if they had them like without the buckle, all black. She was like, yeah, when you just pull the khakis over, and we were like, yeah. I was like, yo, thank you for the compliment. That's what's up. And then I looked at the girls, right? The girls was like, now this girl's like, she's more like, she's more in, like she has more knowledge of what's going on. She knows what it is. So, but the girls out there, they didn't know what type of thing they were dealing with, and I was like, damn, you don't even know. Wait until you see the ambient when you get to the fiesta, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know. And then the girl I was talking to, she was laughing, but she was like looking at me with that signal face, like, yeah, I'm laughing with the girls, but I'm not laughing at you. Pay attention. I'm laughing with them, but I'm laughing at you with that look. And I was like, got you later. I was hoping to see her. I didn't see her though. And then yeah, like, so, and then they start seeing. That's when people start noticing that my image, my presence is not. It's not something that. It's not gonna be. The energy is there. It's gonna be presented, and people are gonna take it very well. Even when people are in the side, even they don't understand. They will even throw shade, but they don't even understand how together I am. You feel what I'm saying? That by the time they know, we already move on. We move the culture. We move what it looks like. We move, because it's not even, we ain't trying to find a look. We are the look. So we have our moods, we have our attitudes, we have our thing, and then all these characteristics move with our persona and all our tools and all our things that we carried on. So yeah, it's a very overwhelming, a positive, overwhelming feeling to come around, that that your coach is secure by the real ones, 100, that made these steps, that knew how to come out and make sure that they didn't settle for a certain thing. They knew they had to make the footsteps. I'm out. They knew that they every tools that they had to do to make every weekend and every time when we out these programs and we are on our ends, to elaborate and put those frequencies out there and grow with it. That's what we do.